Oh, I was just saying we'll both be in. I think we're live right now.
Oh, we are live. We're live.
We're live. Hello, beautiful people. Small technical difficulty, so the intro didn't play. But welcome to another edition of The Professional Fan. I'm the professional fan, Mike Antonace. And joining me is the host of The Reel, my main man, Joseph Ladman. He's already on screen.
Yeah, welcome into the Professional Fan. We got a loaded show. Mike, what are we talking about on the show today?
Whole lot. We're gonna training camp's winding down, so we're gonna be talking about the end essentially of Cleveland Browns training camp moving into the season. Joe Flacco, what does the outlook truly look like on a Joe Flacco led Browns team, and also just what the rest of the quarterback lineup looks like following. I know Joseph and I have different theories of how that can shake out, so yeah, might as well get right into it.
Well, I was gonna say, actually, we'll see on the other side. All that and more next.
Had to get it in. We had to get it in.
Had to. It's Clatter. I mean, people tune in just to see that. Shout out to Humble. He said, "Hey, look who it is! Look who it is! It's Humble. Our main man. What's up, Humble? Hope you have a good day, brother." But shout out to Humble. Go ahead, Mike. Take it over, Professional Fan.
Yeah, so I want to get right into it. Getting down into some news. We got some news today. The Cleveland Browns have officially traded second-year, seventh-round pick Juwan Briggs out of Cincinnati. They traded him and a seventh-round pick to the Jets for their 2026 sixth-round pick. And, you know, it sucks, but it's also good in a couple of ways. You know, we got our pick back, essentially. We got the same value that we would have for a seventh-round pick, essentially. You know, Juwan Briggs showed some good stuff on tape and in preseason. And, you know, unfortunately, it looks like he was just going to be buried on the depth chart. And he's going to a place that he's going to see significantly more starting time. And with the Browns, as the Browns.
I'm sorry.
I saw it. Thank you, Humble, for the super chat, brother. My sexy brother Mike, looking sharp as always.
Thanks for the $4.99, Humble. Appreciate you, brother.
I just trimmed my beard. Makes me look 5 years younger, so I don't look close to 30 anymore. So, at least I think so. I probably do look close to 30 still.
No, you look younger with your. You definitely.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, you definitely do.
Small tangent. It's that like psychological phenomena that like you still look young to yourself when you look in the mirror, but everybody else can see how you've aged, kind of thing. But
you're how old are you? 29. You're pretty young, so you'll be fine. A lot of people older would say, "Boy, I wish I was 29 again."
Yeah, about to be dirty 30.
Yeah, 30 and sporty, or no, 40 and sporty soon. My bad. You'll be 40 and sporty before you know it.
Don't say that.
Another 10 years. But, no,
shut your mouth.
30 and 30, then you'll be sporty and 40. So, but no, I all seriously, I think the Juwan Briggs. Yeah, I even got a little sidetracked there. I'll be honest. The super chat just got off my sexy brother Mike.
Thank you, Humble.
Shout out to you, Humble. But no, I mean, in all serious, here, Juwan Briggs was the guy that I charted closely because obviously my best friend coached him in college, so I knew all about him. But I think Juwan will still be fine. I think he'll have a good career ahead of him in terms of just his role. He's a big, strong guy, works really hard, good dude. But I'm not surprised by this move, honestly, because quite simply, I think this is just a chain reaction of having 4 quarterbacks on your roster going into the year. I think the Browns are probably going to go with 5 interior guys. Mostly, it's going to be Mason Graham, Mike Hall, Shelby Harris, Malik Collins. And in that 5th spot, I would actually put right now, I would have Aiden Huntington right now, personally. That's what I would keep around. I think he's shown enough. But and
I think that's the whole reason why they felt comfortable training.
Yeah, he's got. You want to talk about a guy who's got a high upside? Is definitely him as a UDFA. That's one of the better UDFAs I've seen in a while in terms of just raw athleticism, raw just raw talent.
He's hungry, dude. He wants that job. He was hungry for that job.
I mean,
I've never seen a defensive tackle run so quick on
yeah, I
kickoff
mean, he's
coverage.
just. I
I don't
think
think
there's
I've
something
ever seen anything like it.
I think there's something they see there with him, but also, I mean, here I think it's just a chain reaction of just they're gonna be a little tighter in other position groups because that they're stronger in because they're braided 4 quarterbacks start the season. So it's unlike anything we've seen here. It's not something you typically see ever, but that's what it is. So I think that's all it is. But I mean, I think like you said, they at least got the 7th back out of it. Not that it really matters, but
6th.
we're 6th round pick out of it. So it is what it is. But I think I'm looking forward to Aiden Huntington more. I think he should be kept around on this team. I think the upside's there. I think there's a little more coaching and what he's doing on special teams. He's been. It's crazy. A lineman's actually been your best special teams kickoff coverage guy.
The 3 tech.
I mean, he's been going down there every week and just blowing things up, running guys over. And then even when he gets out there in the snaps, he's getting a lot of pressure. He's getting back there a few times. His pursuit of the ball is incredible for his size and how quick he is. I mean, he ran at 4.6 at his pro days. So,
4.6.
I think that's all it is. I mean, I think that's what they're. Again, I think it's all mainly just a chain reaction to the quarterback room. Having 4 quarterbacks, you got to be a little tight in other spots where you're already good at. Because the front, that defensive line's pretty good.
Very well could be. I've also heard of that there's a theory that it could be they're planning on signing another corner.
That could be it too. Yeah, I mean, because they definitely. I mean, right now, after you get past Denzel Ward, I mean, here Greg Newsom's DC. You know, you're getting. I think Greg is who he is.
He's a good football player.
I think he could be good. Yeah, he's solid. I'd say solid, but I think. I mean, here if Denzel was hurt, which doesn't sound like it's gonna be significant for what they said today.
He'll be ready for week 1. They just released that today.
I mean, after that, the best guy I've seen so far this preseason has been Tony Brown, just the veteran, because at least he looks like a veteran out there. He looks like a guy who he's been a little more physical. I thought in that Panthers game he just competed better than the other guys. He was a little more physical at the line of scrimmage, jamming guys. I thought he just competed better, honestly, better energy. I just don't. The other guys sometimes they just look lost. Like I mean, Cam Mitchell played well a little bit last year, but this year just had a rough. Hasn't been that good. Some of those guys, even that guys who brought in like Casey and they've blown plays this preseason.
Ronnie Hickman looks like the best free safety.
Yeah, I mean, Ryan, that's not really his position. I mean, in college he was more down on the box a lot at Ohio State. They would move him down a lot. So
isn't that weird how that happened? Grant Delpit was such a good free safety, but couldn't do it in the NFL. So he's a really good box safety. And Ronnie Hickman was the opposite. And now he's a pretty good free safety, but can't play in the box.
I'll be honest, as thin as that secondary is right now, I wouldn't doubt if they put Grant back to the opposite and put Ronnie in there.
I wouldn't. Grant.
I would give it a look. I would give it a look. I mean, or maybe you just keep it the way it is. I'd put them out there together, though, for sure. I think those are your 2 best right now. I mean, Casey's okay. He's a veteran. But
Rayshawn Jenkins is good if he's not getting into fights.
Not getting into fights, and I don't think they really appreciated that either. I mean, I know.
No, I think they're going to keep Casey. And Hickman's looked better than Jenkins. I mean, Hickman is one of those UDFAs that he's almost looked better in the NFL than he played at Ohio State. Like at times,
and I think a lot of that comes down to the scheme. I think the scheme is short. I mean, there was similarities with Knowles a little bit, but Knowles liked to run a lot of 4-2-5, and he would like to run a lot of multiple guy DBs out there. And Knowles didn't like rushing the passers. Didn't like rushing the passers as much. A lot of times Knowles would only rush 4 guys at the max. I mean, that was it. It just wasn't his pass rushing wasn't like it was with other previous defenses, but. Yeah. I think that was a lot of it, but I think this defense, they're a lot more aggressive up front with Jim Schwartz, and I think that fits his style better. You can move him down in the box, which you did, but also I just think he just sees probably more opportunities because there's more pressure on the quarterback, and that's what you've seen with him so far. And he's got a really nice I think he closes out pretty well on guys in terms of tackling. He's a really good tackler in space. Overall, he was like that in college, but he's solid, but that secondary, that's a good point. I mean, they definitely need to sign somebody. They need to get somebody in there, in my opinion. They need some more depth there because everybody talk about quarterback. To me, that's the biggest hole right now.
There's been some talk about secondary. Kelly Ringo being moved.
What do you think of that? You know more about that than me.
I mean, Kelly Ringo out of Georgia, I believe. I think he was a Georgia corner.
How many years he been in the league?
I think 2 or 3 now.
So he's younger. Okay.
He has upside. He's fast, but like he's one of those fast corners that he doesn't really. He's not very good at doing the more like nuanced things that you want to see out of like an elite corner, like you would see out of Denzel, who pairs speed with like just pure know-how of the system and how to actually play the position. Because in my opinion, I think cornerback is among, if not the hardest position to play in football, especially in modern day NFL when the offensive pass game is so protected by the refs and by the modern day rules in the passing game. So I think corner today is the hardest position to play in the NFL outside of maybe quarterback. But as far as pure position, corner is really hard to get right. You got to be super fast. You got to have like
Good
super
instincts.
smart, insane instincts. And then you have to know how to break up a pass without drawing a flag, which I think is the hardest thing to do. Denzel Ward's amazing at that. And
yeah, I mean Denzel, he's just always had that natural. When you watch Denzel move out there, it just looks natural. Like it looks
like he was
no wasted movements, no wasted movements, instincts. He's physical. Denzel loves to compete. It's just unfortunately he's had the knack with injuries since he's got in the NFL. Didn't have that kind of injuries in college, but it's the reason in the NFL he has. Well, I mean, we'll get to that with Coach Aguirre down the road. He's got a story on that, but it's Roddy Denzel, so stay tuned. But no, I mean, yeah, I agree with you. I mean, you need more depth at corner, and if that's probably I think that's the weakest spot on this team right now. Everywhere else, I feel a little bit better about coming out of camp. I feel better about the offensive line. They look really good.
The defensive line is going to be nasty.
That front seven is going to be nasty, but the offensive line, the rushing game looks really good. I think they got the running game back. They've really dominated the first 2 preseason games running the ball, and that was a good Eagles front. I mean, and they ran all over them, almost 5 yards of rush. And then the opposite side of the ball, defensively, the rushing defense has been really good. They've held teams to 30, 20 rushing yards for most of the game. So
amazing the turnaround on that. Remember when we were like, they found we were watching Browns game 3 years ago, guys, before Joe Woods was exiled to the Shadow Realm. And once the team found out that they can run the ball on the Browns, it was over, right? That's just how it was.
What was that, 22? That was awful.
Oh, my God. No defensive tackles. Now we got a bunch of dudes I feel good about.
Oh, they're loaded there. I think they're pretty good. I think they got good depth in that. I mean, you got Mike Hall,
Mason Graham, and then Shelby Harris, who's always been good. Malik Collins. Now you have Aiden Huntington.
Malik Collins really underrated. Then you got
underrated player.
Underrated Aiden Huntington, possibly, or whoever else. But and then you got Alex right back, who I think have a really good year. You got obviously the Myles Garrett's, probably the best DN in the league. And then
Isaiah McGuire is one of the best run defending.
Isaiah McGuire, you got him back. I mean, they'll be just fine. And then Joe Tryon, who, I think it's a good rotational piece. Won a Super Bowl. Yeah, he was on that Super Bowl team, I believe, right? I'm not mistaken.
Yes,
I think so.
I think he was a rookie that year.
Yeah, I think so. But he was part of that culture. Comes from Washington, which is they develop really good guys up in the trenches. I mean, when Kalen DeBoer was there, so. I like him a lot. I think it's just a nice piece to have in the rotation. They're really good up front, and obviously Carson looks like a future perennial Pro Bowler without a doubt. And that's a slam dunk pick. We can just
my hottest take is that he has a chance to win Defensive Rookie of the Year if the Browns have a good enough.
Who's playing better than him as Defensive Rookie right now?
Corey will be happy to hear this. Jalen Walker looks great.
He looks good. But there's some good ones.
Abdul Carter has looked really good.
The biggest one, but it's not a lot of those rookie defensive guys that are in the whole draft that are playing better than him right now.
Carson looks like an absolute freaking steal at 33, bro. Like he looks. I've been watching him in training camp, and I rewatched his preseason tape again. There's some stuff he's doing you just really can't teach. He's just like he's so good at.
He looks like a 3-year veteran.
Yeah, he's super smart too, and a thing that Jason Tarver was talking about is he's like, I've never seen a rookie pick up the defensive playbook so quickly. Like he just knew it, like he just learned it super super quickly.
I got it. Humble again. Look at Humble.
Thank you again.
Joe Flacco started weaker for the Browns, cue the NFL and CBS theme song because apparently we're living in a throwback episode from 2012.
I saw
Shout out to
a
Humble.
graphic that was like Joe Flacco starting against the Bengals week 1.
Love you too,
Love
Humble.
you too, bro. Thank you for all your support, as always, bro. Humble's awesome, man.
He is. He's the man.
But it was a
I mean,
graphic, and it was
go ahead.
like Joe Flacco starts week 1 against the Bengals, 2025. And then it was like Joe Flacco starts against the Bengals week 1. It's like 2009 or something like that. It was so funny. And he was like young in his Ravens uniform, you know.
But no, I mean,
Flacco looks great. I don't understand why. See, Joe Flacco, I think, can succeed still in the NFL if you're running the right system. And Kevin Stefanski runs Flacco's system. You know what I mean? It takes perfect advantage of it. It's like, here's your read, here's your other read. All you got to do is throw the ball, Joe. And Joe's big enough and his arm is still good enough that he can take advantage of those plays. And I think this is a great caveat because of Humble Super Chat into what is it going to look like with Joe Flacco? What can we expect? Because for me, right, Joseph, I think there are two possibilities, right? I think maybe he starts off strong, peters off, the age starts to show, and then that's when we see the rookies. But there's also a second, maybe less likely scenario that could very much happen, and that is what if Flacco... Hello, Mike G! I love that icon.
Good to see you, Chantel.
I got to put that on a shirt.
Shout out to Chantel and shout out to Selmo. FU comment. Selmo. I'll just say Selmo.
Yeah, we'll just say Selmo.
I don't want to mispronounce it. My bad. Shout out to Selmo.
Thank you guys for joining the show. If you're new here, please on your way in, subscribe to the channel. We would greatly appreciate that. But yeah, there's a second scenario that could happen. What if, Joseph? What if Joe Flacco is playing well? What if they're playing so well and winning games to the point where they don't put a rookie in? Because I think that is something that we're not talking about because we just assume that, you know, at some point we're going to see the rookies. At some point, Joe Flacco is going to peter off, you know, and that's a fair assumption. You know, I think we could both agree that, Joseph. I mean, he hasn't played a full season since he started for the Ravens. Or I'm sorry, I think he maybe finished a full season with the Broncos when they signed him.
I think that was the last time, which was back in 2016.
Yep, 2016, almost a decade ago. A decade.
Yeah. Cavs won a championship.
Right. So
it's a long time.
Right.
No, I mean, here, I think...
but there is a chance. What if he's winning games? What if, like, we're in week 6 and the Browns are 4-2? Like, that's when I think the change off is going to happen. But what if we're winning games? Like, what happens then? Because as a Browns fan, like, I just want to win.
Well, here I like what Mike G says here. Browns veterans demanded effort to win games. No more trashing for draft picks, and I agree with that.
Yeah,
great point there, Mike G. And you see he has the clowns in the. That's a great.
I love that icon.
That's a great thumbnail. I'm not gonna lie, but I love my organization. I root for my team, but you know I can't disagree with that. But no, I mean, kind of with that logo though. I mean, here you're trying to build a culture, establish a culture, keep a consistent culture. And a lot of people you hear in the news this week, they've challenged the culture, or are questioning, do they even have a culture? And I've done that before. I mean, many times on the show or on this platform, if you watched, I mean, I've looked into some of the organization things I think that you need to be addressed that I have questions about that, you know, why are things as bad as they've been? Something's wrong internally. I mean, like if it's like, you know, you always say if it ain't broke, don't fix it, but it ain't working here. It's been broke. We're not fixing it. So, here, I think this: if Flacco can go out there and get a good groove from the beginning of the season, which I think could happen, I know people don't think that I know people think that offense is going to struggle in the beginning of the year, but I don't think that. I think the defense might struggle because the front seven will be really good, but I just don't. I think teams. Joe Burrow might throw for 400 yards on us week 1 if Denzel's not healthy. And even if he is healthy,
mean, the way that the offensive line for the Bengals looked against the Commanders in that preseason game, if that's what's going to be going on,
I'm just running quick routes because I mean, our guys are so bad at the line of scrimmage with letting these guys get off breaks and run scot-free. Maybe not 40 yards. I'm exaggerating a little bit, 40 yards, but I'm just saying. I think he might go off week 1 because I just don't like the secondary. I think it's going to come down to that front 7. Obviously, I think they'll get pressure, but that back 7 to me. I think the offense actually. I mean, here they're running the ball really well right now. That offensive line, nobody's talking about that enough. That offensive line has been dominating in these first 2 games, and that's a good sign. And so, again, if you're rebuilding a team, right, we know that the rebuilding from the whole Watson experiment that set you back probably 5 years because you gave all that capital up, invested that much time into it. You got to start rebuilding your team. You got to build from the trenches first, especially in the AFC. And their trenches right now on both sides, I'm really impressed with. So that's a good start.
I like some of the heir apparents too. Luke Whippler, who's the heir apparent to our
had a really good game last week.
He looks like a starting center. Zach Zinner has looked really good in preseason in the wide zone, and he's the heir apparent to Joel Bitonio.
People need to give Zinner some grace. I mean, he's coming off 2 injuries.
He really is. And he looked good in the preseason games. He had a slow start to training camp.
Yeah, you got to understand where these athletes are coming from. Like, it's not easy to come back from what he's coming back from at all. But if that guy didn't get hurt his senior year, he'd have been drafted much higher. Trust me, everybody liked that guy coming out of that draft. He was a
second-round pick.
He was the best. He was the best offensive lineman, best offensive lineman on the best O line in the country that year. Most dominant O line. That Michigan O line was one of the most dominant lines we've seen in a long time. So, and Lemmy was really the engine of that whole national championship team. Some people would say Connor Stallions, but no, I think it anyways. But
I like the shot you had. You just had to take it.
Going back to back. But anyways,
got a lot of Michigan boys on our team now, though.
Nah, I know it's all cool. But
Mason Graham, Zach
if you can play, come on down. We need you. But yeah, I love Mason Graham. He can ball. But no, I mean here I think the trench is really good. I think Flacco can sit back there if they can establish the running game consistently, which I think they can. I think Jerome Ford is going to surprise people this year. I think he's put on some weight, which is necessary for him. He's able to shed more tackles.
He does look better.
He could see. I think he'll be fine. I think Dylan Sampson will, as he gets going, be fine.
Looks like a dog.
He looks like a dog. I think
they're going to use him. I'm so glad he's on my football team.
I think he'll give us some packages we haven't had in terms of like running guys out of the backfield, more of a scat back. And then I think, hell, I'd bring that Marsh kid's going to have to play, and he's looked decent. I mean, he's averaged almost 4 yards a carry, I think, this preseason, which I'll take it for now for a rookie. So, or whatever, is he a rookie or is he UDFA?
Yeah, he's a rookie at Appalachian State, UDFA.
He looks really good. I mean, you always get guys that get slept on. And now, here, to be honest with you, that was a really deep running back class. So, these UDFAs come out in the draft this year that running backs, they might actually be draft picks because it was that low. I mean, the fact Dylan Sampson was taken that late, any other year, he probably been taken in the third.
Second round pick.
I would say third. But yeah, I mean,
second to third.
He's the SEC Offensive Player of the Year last year. So
he set the record for touchdowns at Tennessee all time.
Yeah, I mean that shows you how deep that class was from running back standpoint. Now I got the size. I'm sure would have hindered them a little bit. That's why I said third because of the size. Some teams are.
He's a big dude though. I mean, in preseason he looked really hard to bring down.
I mean, he reminds me of a guy right now in high school I'll be watching this year who same size, 5'8", 220. This kid's about 225. They call him a little Scatabo, but I know people are recruiting him. He's not going to get a bigger offer because of his height. Some people see that differently. You know what I mean? It depends on the coach.
Yeah.
But I think he fits for what we need. We got him right there. Also, we took Juckins ahead of him. And we'll get Juckins back probably mid-season, I would think. So, but as far as Flacco go, to answer your question, I think I got a lot more confidence in that receiver room now. I like Jerry Jeudy's going to be just fine. Isaiah Bond, I think, will be the wide receiver too by the end of the year. Really not immediately. He's going to take some time to get his body acclimated. I don't know what shape he is too. Football shape. He's probably gonna get going there and studying the playbook and everything. So he's a little behind. But Tillman, I think if Tillman could stay healthy, he could be effective. Jamari Thrash looks like a guy who I think will be the starting slot without a doubt. He's getting a lot more comfortable out there, getting open more consistently. Needs to block a little better on the perimeter, but I think that'll get better with time. But so I feel a lot better with it. I think Gage, I really like Gage a lot. So Flacco has the weapons, I think. He has the receiver room, I believe. It's a bunch of hungry dudes because these are all young guys. I like this receiver room. The one thing I like about it the most, Mike, it's young. They're more hungry. So
yeah, they got something to prove.
I wouldn't bring Deontay Johnson this season. That's just me. I think he's put out too much cuttable tape at times, and I just think
he looks bad.
The guy
He
quit
was
on a
bad.
play after a pick six when he could have actually ran back and tackled the guy when Dylan cut him off in the pursuit. So I don't think I wouldn't bring him back personally. That's just me. I would roll the young dudes that are hungry. And I think Flacco would do better with that. But I think here, if they get the two, if let's say they're by week 10, let's say they're 2-3, you're not pulling Flacco because if you win that game that Sunday, you're 500. And then it's fair game. So I think he's got to keep it around 500. I think that's as long as they'll drag it out. Once they get probably 2 to 3 games under 500, that's when they'll start to consider, okay, we got to put the other guys in now. Now, the question is who's going to be the next guy out? Because I think to start week 1, based off their depth chart, not what I would do, but I don't think Kenny Pickett's going to be healthy by week 1. This hamstring sounds pretty serious, I'd say more serious than people thought. Kind of like what Coach McGregor was saying on the show, and you can't rush that either, because I know a guy in the NFL right now. Back in June, was complaining about his hamstring. Now he's out with an MCL sprain. So it's all connected. You cannot push those hamstrings if it's that bad. So, and this guy unfortunately went to camp and tried, and it went the wrong way. So, but I just think if once he gets to 2-3 games under 500, if that happens, which I think a lot of people think it will, I think that's when you'll start to consider who's next. And I think right now, based on their depth chart and Kenny's injury and hasn't really played a whole lot this preseason, it's probably gonna be Dylan next up. So I think that's where they'll go. Not what I would do, but I think that's where they'll go.
They haven't announced that yet, though. And Chantel actually brings up a great point. Do y'all think Kenny Pickett deserves to be QB2? No. I think it's no for both of us, not to speak for Joseph, but
no. You know what I would do, Mike? Honestly, whenever I get to the point where I feel like Flacco can't do it anymore, every week, whoever has the best week of practice,
congrats, you're the starter.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta. I hear clearly the Browns don't believe either of these two rookies are the long-term solution. I don't think they're treating them like either one of them like they are. Because now you keep hearing these reports about 26. I know I could just bring up the Arch Manning stuff today because I think some of that's kind of silly because it's too soon. But
yeah,
they're also not shooting it down either. So I just I think.
I mean, they're not going to talk about the next.
No, but when I'm say by shooting it down, you hear a lot of people that are plugged into the Browns that everybody's saying they're taking a quarterback next year, like no matter what. So I don't think. I don't know. I mean, unless one of these two guys goes out there and looks like the next Bo Nix or even better, does it really matter? Because I don't think I just keep thinking about this the last couple of days. I just don't see a world where they don't take a quarterback now next year in the first round. Why do you go out and get another first for next year? You passed on Travis Hunter to go out and get that first rounder next year because you value that quarterback position more than anything, as you should. But I just think that's what they're going to be looking to do. And then here, now, do I agree with that fully? No, because I think at some point you got to develop somebody. Like, I mean, maybe you do develop the most out of these guys. Maybe these guys both are just not what you want them to be. Maybe Dylan Gabriel, what I think, is just more of a career backup. Maybe Shador Sanders maybe needs a couple more years development from their eyes, or maybe I don't know what they think. I mean, only they know that's their observation, not ours. So some teams may view it differently, but I don't know. I mean, let's see. Let me answer this one right here. He said, if you wanted a franchise from this draft, why wait until the third round? Exactly. That's a good point, Mike. That's exactly what I'm saying. Here, they took a guy in the third round, they took a guy in the fifth, more on a flyer, and I don't think they view these guys as long-term solutions.
No, I mean, I think they're going to give both of them a chance to prove them wrong.
Absolutely. And they both have a great opportunity to. And here, from an ownership standpoint, ownership's thinking dollars. We all know that. He's got a stadium he's got to build. Shador Sanders already generated $250 million in revenue. That's going to keep going up. That's a lot of money. So, same reason why the Lakers took Bronny James, not just to please LeBron, but for that 1 year, but they generated $50 million off him before Christmas.
Hoo-wee.
That's a lot of money for Jeannie Buss, who wasn't the richest of NBA owners. The Lakers were rich, but she wasn't as rich. So, again, and then she took that money and then sold the team and dipped. So, good for her. Jeannie really cashed out last year. But I think here it keeps people interested this year. And I'll say this: if Dylan is the long-term backup, that's an upgrade. I feel just off of one game I watched last week, that's an upgrade from DTR by far.
Oh yeah.
I think there's a lot of things. DTR couldn't even hit the check downs, couldn't hit the layups, couldn't keep the offense moving consistently. Dylan, I feel a little better with. No, I don't. And here, I don't want to base the guy off of one game, but based on what I saw, I think the height and the height being left-handed is a knock. I mean, it's why I don't think he's going to be a long-term starter. You could just see it at time. I mean, there was plays where I was looking at this film when he did a nice job, but he was looking around offensive linemen to see the window, like a guy that's like Joe Flacco. I think the offense we've seen in the preseason is just a base offense of what we're going to see come week one.
Right.
Because Joe Flacco still is the best quarterback on that roster because of just the experience. He's experience number one, but he's 6'6". The guy, he's still one of the better pure, probably one of the best pure, like not say he's one of the best, he's one of the best pure passers in the league still, just because he has a lot of these new guys coming out. A lot of these guys are just athletes playing quarterback. Joe Flacco's a true quarterback. That's what he like. He knows how to sit in the pocket, navigate the field, manipulate the pocket, throw the ball on time and on target in tight windows, 15 yards down the field. There's throws that could have been made in that game last Saturday that weren't made because I just think, number one, he's a rookie, but just couldn't see it. You know what I mean? He just the height couldn't see over the guard. So I know with Shador, I think he's just got a lot of learning to do. So I think with Shador, I think Shador is the most upside. And you and I've said all along it. We both think Shador should be. I think he's had the better preseason, honestly, in the camp. I think from what I've seen,
Correct.
I think he has the most upside because I think he has the more pro game. He's 6'2", I believe.
Yep.
6'2". I think he had a really great. I think his preseason opener was really good. Thought he played great. And I think he does a nice job actually sitting in the pocket. He's one of the fewer guys I've seen that actually will sit in that pocket and step up and look downfield and deliver the ball. 15. I mean, remember that throw he made to Gage? I mean, that was a hell of a throw on third down for a young guy to make. You don't see that a lot nowadays. So he's a guy that could change their minds. I think if there's one guy, because I think he has the highest upside.
Yeah, I agree.
But
I think
don't
everybody
know.
agrees.
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing with him. Like, I'm not sure what they're planning. Why are they taking it so slow? Like, is it? It's one of the most weird things I've ever seen. And then you go online, it's like World War III. You got Team Dylan versus Team Shador.
Oh, I know, man.
I mean, these people are going nuts. So
can't wait for all that to be over, dude.
Yeah, I agree with. That's why I don't pay attention to it. People leave comments, I don't even read them. That just unless it's usually something negative. See you later. Don't even bother. But we're not interactive with that stuff. But we just evaluate like we see. We try to keep it fair and just down the middle, honestly. So at the end of the day, it's about we want to see the Browns be a successful organization. And so
yeah,
I think I don't know, man. And what do you see, don't they? I mean, because that's a big. We know everybody knew Flacco was going to be quarterback one, but it's like, how are they going to balance this out throughout the season? It's still going to be a headline.
I mean, I think quarterback two, Kevin specifically didn't name a starter for a multitude of reasons because he said that position's earned. I don't think Kenny Pickett's going to be quarterback two. I don't even know if he's on the team. There's a strong chance that they cut him or trade him. It's looking like they might have to cut him.
Traded till week 4.
Yeah, or maybe like slightly after week
right
1.
Now, that hamstring right now, that if I'm a team, I'm not trading for him right now because I don't know what that hamstring looks like. That's you can't mess with that. And he kind of he likes to use his legs a little bit. So I think once he's healthy and it's the word on the street, teams know he's healthy. That's when I think they'll maybe dump him off or something. But I don't know.
Yeah, I mean that's a good point. I mean, Kenny Pickett. I mean, at the very least, you could get quarterback needy teams. I mean, the Saints. There are a couple of other teams that need a backup, something fierce right now. That might be like, here, we're not too scared about the hamstring. You brought up earlier when we were talking that he might not pass a physical, which would be the one kind of bigaboo. But
yeah, I'm not. I wouldn't trade for him right now. Not with that.
Right. But Shador, I think, needs to get that second role, so he's the heir apparent to Joe Flacco. And then I'd go Dylan, just because training camp. If you're just going by training camp and preseason, Shador has looked better. That's just objectively what I've seen. Shador has looked like you said it earlier, the quarterback with more upside.
Yeah, I mean, I think Mike G.
I don't think
needs
Dylan's bad. Dylan does look like an NFL quarterback.
Here he says it best right here. Your height and left hand mean nothing if you're a backup, that's why I think he's gonna be a career backup because of those two reasons mainly. But so we agree. Yeah, you need a smart guy with good communication skills, which he has. You could tell he's very smart. And he did process pretty well out there. I mean, outside of the one bad pick six, which wasn't fully his fault, he still can't throw the ball. But I thought he processed the game pretty well, and I like that he doesn't try to force it down the field. I thought he just played it smart. And the one time he did try to force it down the field, he threw a pick. So, but I thought overall it was first game I thought he played well. When he said this is a team player, future coach, but can run the game plan if an injury occurs. And I think the Browns, Mike G, have proven that in the past. I mean, we've threw PJ Walker out there and DTR and still won games. So I think you're right. I mean, I think he could be. I think for a backup, he's an upgrade from DTR without a doubt. He's much better than DTR ever was. So I think it's an upgrade. I mean, that's fine. And in terms of, you look at this team building for the future, their trenches have gotten a lot better. That's where it starts to me, is in the trenches. Both sides look good there. They keep that up. You got a backup quarterback. Your young receivers are starting to emerge. You got some nice young running backs. You got a young tight end now. You're building this team up now. Now you're building all the other pieces. So now eventually you're gonna get to that point where you're gonna need some secondary pieces, but you're gonna get to that point where, okay, we're just a quarterback away. You know what I mean? Like, that's how you build a team, to me. So I think they're on track. They're in a much better spot now than they were a year ago by miles.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, the Browns are in a far, far better position than they have been in a very long time. I mean, two very, very good players right off the rip. If Quinshon Judkins, that situation gets resolved, I think he's going to be a very good running back in the NFL.
I got to ask you, I don't mean to cut you off, but this is a good question here, because people have asked, I've heard this in the media throughout the last couple of days. He said, in my opinion, Shador will never be a backup in the NFL unless it's a gimmick. Either he shines as a starter or he's out. And I actually agree with that. I think either he's your guy, or teams aren't going to keep him as a backup because it's too much. So I don't. I mean, not his fault. I'm not saying it's him. I think he's just doing his job. I think he's handled this pretty well since he's been here. And but I agree. Either he's the guy here or he'll be somewhere else. But what do you think is more likely, that Shador's back here next year or Dylan Gabriel? I think Dylan Gabriel's more likely back here next year.
I'm still saying Shador. I think if he gets the fair shake that I think the Browns are going to give him, he'll prove enough to win the starting job and essentially make the Browns not pick a quarterback next year. That is my biggest hope, and what I think still could happen.
I think he would have to be like, which I think he's capable of it. I think he would have to be like that dude. Like,
undeniable, yeah.
Yes, undeniable, because clearly from what it sounds, and this isn't me, from what is being reported, there's people out there next year in that draft they think are going to have better upside for franchise quarterbacks than these guys in this draft that they took, clearly. So,
and that's a fair assumption, but I think
so. That's what I'm saying. I'm curious what their evaluation of that class. I mean, we don't know, but whatever their evaluation of that 26 class is, by the way it sounds from what's being reported from the inside guys, that he better be like that dude, like, to change their mind. Which, if he is, great, because now you got 2 first rounders to go put somewhere else. We can go get Caleb Downs, put a free safety. We can go get, we can do all different kinds of things. Go get a receiver opposite of Jerry. Go get a DN maybe opposite of Miles if need be. Although I think Alex will be fine. Go get another corner. Like, all kinds of things you can do. Maybe left tackle, but that doesn't pan out. So,
it looks like it will, though.
Good stuff from Mike G. I like Mike G. Put some knowledge down here.
We like all of you.
Yeah, we like all you guys. All you guys are great. Shout out to Derica Smith at Mike G 100. Stacy, good to see you.
Welcome. But
yeah, 100%. Yeah, 100%. There's definitely a difference between a backup and a QB error and waiting. So yeah, exactly. And I totally agree, Mike G. I think that's what Dylan is. But again, what I've taken him in the third
is heir apparent.
I think you could have got him later on than the third. Yeah, but I mean, Xavier Watts looks pretty nice right now. We could have took him at safety. Damn it. But I don't know. Unless maybe they thought another team was high on him like they were. Maybe they would have swooped him in the 4th or 5th. Maybe I don't know. You never know. So, but he is an upgrade in the backup. That's good. So that's the best way I can look at it. Dylan Gabriel. Dylan Dylan Gabriel, Stefanski guy. He will keep number 12 below. Dylan can't have 12 to shine, and Dylan knows this is why he threw shade. You got any comments on that, Mike?
I mean, I think Kevin Stefanski actually really likes Shador. He never really spoke about Dylan Gabriel in the pre-draft process. He only spoke on Shador Sanders. I think more so Dylan Gabriel's a more front office guy than anything. I had to ask Kevin Stefanski one-on-one who he liked more, I would suspect that it's Shador Sanders as far as talent, processing, just coachability, everything.
And if you listen to the pre-draft press conference, he certainly did.
Yeah.
To me, I agree. Yeah, I mean, I think he likes both.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he dislikes either one.
Everybody put in the chat right now. I'm curious what the people think. I know Jimmy Haslam said otherwise, but do you think Jimmy Haslam, at the end of the day, was the one that made the Shador pick? Like, maybe like that, I'm not saying he called it in and like you better take him, but do you guys believe that Jimmy Haslam made it known that Saturday that that's who he wanted? Like, you don't have to take him, Andrew, but I am the owner. I do pay the bills. I would like him. I don't know any GM that's going to say otherwise because they know it could be my job. Right. What do you think, Mike? Because in that case, it makes me wonder. It's like, whose guy was who? Because I just don't understand that one guy's getting more first team reps than the other guy by a lot. And what do you think about all that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really sure if it was. I think Kevin likes Shador. I think that's a fact of the matter. I do think Jimmy possibly had like the final say on it happening. But yeah, no, I think it was still mildly collaborative. Maybe it wasn't in Andrew Berry's itinerary or the other dudes, but Jimmy Haslam and Kevin definitely were collaborating on that.
And again, it's a fair, because you look at the past history with Jimmy, who forced the Deshaun Watson trade that he said recently in the article?
Jimmy.
So it's like people are going to speculate that because it's happened before. You know what I mean? It's like, when do you ever take two quarterbacks in a draft? Not often.
Right.
So, especially third and fifth rounders. He said they all had conversation about it. It's not that he didn't want him. They didn't expect him to be there. He wants it to be clear that he let his coach and GM do their job. Yeah, and I'm sure he wants to put that out there. I don't know. I'm really curious why they're going about this whole thing the way they are. Why, like, what are they seeing in practice? Clearly, it's something in practice. What do they see in the meeting rooms? What is it that he's for still? Because, I mean, a lot of people look at the game. You and I both said we thought Shador had a better game.
Far better.
But there's something they're seeing. I mean, I don't know. I'm just curious. They don't really explain it either. You ask them, it's just mum. So it's like today I saw when they asked Kevin today about the injuries. It was just like, yeah, he's got a thumb. We'll get back to you on it. It's like they don't give you much. So
no.
Did you see the Myles Garrett press conference today?
Yeah, I mean, our media. I can't believe.
What did you think of the first question?
It.
I'm not calling anybody out, but I'm gonna be honest with you, dude. I've never seen a press conference start off of, "Hey, what did you think when you look down at the speedometer? It's going up to 100 miles an hour." I
can't believe our media, bro.
I've never.
I just want them to talk about sport. Ask football questions. If I wanted drama, I'd watch TMZ or some shit.
I don't know. He said, oddly, I think Dylan had the better game, and I'm not a Dylan fan. I think Shador was more exciting. I mean, I could see where people are. I don't think he did. Personally, I think Shador made more. And I don't know. I get everybody. I see what he said, but to me, in my opinion, I think Shador just did a better job of sitting in the pocket. I feel like Dylan, when he gets a little pressure, he's not great in the pocket. He gets happy feet, but he runs with one ball in the hand and he runs forward. And I feel like a lot of times when he regathered the ball and he looked down the field, he had got it open down the middle. He did, but it was too late. Like, remember that missed pass or the late pass he threw in the middle, Deontay Johnson late in the third, or when it was like that play should have actually been a completion. He had Deontay sooner, but because he ran forward in the pocket he had a slight pressure to his, I think it was to his left. or maybe it was right to from the outside from the tackles, but he ran forward with one hand on the ball and then set his feet, then threw it. But by the time he threw it, it was too late downfield. To me, I don't know if that's something you can really fix because I don't. How much is that his height? You know what I mean? Or I just that's just kind of his game. I just don't. I need a guy in that offense that can sit in that pocket consistently, can step up in the pocket. You know what I mean? You're gonna feel pressure. It's part of the NFL game. You can't nothing you can do about that. You got to be able to sit in that pocket to deliver the ball. I just don't think he can do that consistently. Shador, I at least saw him sit in that pocket more. I think where Shador's got to get better at though, where I think Dylan got the ball out quick a lot of times. If he didn't like the read that he saw, he got it out. Just hit the check down, which is fine. That's not a knock hitting the check downs by any means. Keep the drive moving. You know what I mean? I think where Shador's got to get a little better. And I think this is kind of a habit from Colorado because that offensive line was so bad. I think he tried to sometimes feel like he had to play hero ball and hold on to the ball too long and try to throw it down the field and go for the big play.
Yeah.
Which again, you play with that offensive line in Colorado was horrific. They didn't have a good running game at all. The only good guy they had to me was Jordan Seaton, who was a freshman. Who looks like a monster right now. But to me, that's what I said. Dylan, to me, he didn't do well when he has a clean pocket. He can step up and throw the ball down the field, and he can make all the throws and do all. But when he doesn't have a clean pocket and just a slight pressure, he starts to panic. He runs forward, one hand on the ball, which he cannot do ever. And like some of the checkdowns remember the one he overthrew to Pierre Strong, bad mechanics. There was a couple throws I broke down in the film, which is bad mechanics because he just feels a little pressure in the pocket and he runs forward. You cannot do that in the pocket. That's not stepping up in the pocket, running forward, one hand on the ball. That's playing shot put.
Right. 110%.
Like some of the plays, he looked like he was playing shot put instead of football. But I'm not gonna. It's his first NFL game. You know what I mean? I think he did do a better job though in the middle of the game, stepping up more in the pocket with two hands on the ball when he had a clean pocket. So, but again, I mean, my expectations for him is I think he'll be the long-term backup. You know what I mean? I'm fine with that. I'm not gonna judge him like he's a future franchise guy.
Correct.
He may prove me otherwise, which I'm fine with. Please, somebody, please just be the guy for us.
Right. And we prefer Shador, of course, but we both.
I think Shador has the higher chance to reach that, but
I agree.
Will it happen here? Doesn't seem like it. I'm being honest. I don't know what the Browns are. I don't know what they're doing. Dylan was 17%. Shador was 6%. Dylan had a touchdown drive in the first. Shador only had one first down, no points. Dylan's passes were more zip, better placement more often. I thought Dylan did a better job, like I said, of not holding on the balls. I thought he got the ball out quickly, just took the layups, which kept the drives moving, which is perfect, that's great. But I feel like some of the drives as the game went on, it just started to slowly. It's like Shador didn't start off the game as cleanly, but he got better as the game went on.
Yeah. And I think it'd be remiss to say like Shador was with the second team and Carolina starters were out there. Dylan didn't have to play any starters.
Did they have any starters out there for Philly? Well, Jai Campbell, he might start, won't he?
I mean, yeah, but like he's a rookie. They didn't have their first team defense out there.
All right. I think they're both. How I would evaluate, they're both different.
Right.
Like they're both different players. Like I think Dylan's good at what he's good at, and I think Shador's been good at what he's been good at his whole career. But they're two kind of different styles in a way.
Right.
So they're both effective. I mean, they do some things similar, but I thought Shador was better with more down, like passes 10 to 15 yards, seeing the windows, throwing the ball in the window. Like the pass he made to Gage on that third down. I thought Dylan's best throw of the day was probably in the third quarter. He threw that one across the middle to Caden Davis. That was his best throw because he threw it on time, threw it the window. He threw the window. He saw the window and threw it out in front. Perfect timing, right? It was the deepest throw I think he made all day too. I think it was like 15 yards downfield. So to me, that was his best throw. I like to see him do more of that, but I mean, they both got a lot of work to do. They both got a long way to go. They only played one game. I like to see them both play more, but we're not going to see that for a while. So, it is what it is. Dylan was 6 of 6 on third down conversions first half. Yeah, I mean he couple of those third downs. So the first one he stepped up, hit the tight end on a dig in the middle. He did a really nice. Like I said, he did a nice job. If he didn't like the first read, he just went right to getting the ball out to the guy where he knew was going to be open to the check down or shorter routes, which is fine. You got first down. That's all you need to do is convert first down. But I feel like as the game went on and the plays weren't as scripted, right? And he had to kind of improvise. I think that's where he kind of struggled a little bit.
But everything has to be right for Dylan for it to work.
For instance, you got to be really good in play action in the system. He was 1 of 6 for 18 yards of an interception in play action. Got to be better there. If you want to play, play action is a big part of that system. So
it's the biggest part about our system.
it's a lot of it. So, yeah, I think that's what I was. I think they had some out there for sure. She said, "Are you kidding me? You guys reading all this guy's text? Which one?" Yeah, that's what I see, Mike G. For me, Mike G, I think with the system, I think he fits better in terms of you're trying to get a long-term play out of this. I think he has the higher upside, but I don't think unless Shador's going to be. I agree with you said earlier, Mike G. Unless he's going to be the guy, I don't think he'll be around after this year. I think Dylan to me, I think would fit that backup role perfectly because I think he seems like a guy that would understand that. I just think that's what he is. You know what I mean? And anywhere else he goes in the NFL, he's probably still going to be a backup anywhere else. You know what I mean? In the long term. So, you agree with that, Mike? I mean, that's what I think. But again, I think let's see when they both get their opportunities in the fall. I mean, that's where we're going to see it. So, like week to week stacking games. That's what I want to see. Stack games. I don't want to see one game and that's it. And I'm not going to judge it off of that. I want to see stacked games. So Dylan's going to get his opportunity probably first, it looks like. And then they're going to, it's according to Haslam, they're going to play both of them this year. So, I mean, we're going to see it. That's when we'll know who's who. Anything else, Mike?
Got a lot of chat. As a matter of fact, we're approaching the hour mark, so I was just going to ask you.
Yeah, that's what I just said, Chantel. Appreciate it. Yeah.
No, that's absolutely right, Chantel.
That'll be a good evaluate. That's where we really get to evaluate these guys. You know what I mean? Because I want to, like I said, I want to see them stack weeks. You know what I mean? How does he get better from this week to the next week? That's where you start to find out what a guy is. You know what I mean? So that's what I see. She said, she deuces, I'm out of here. No, we like Stacy and we like Mike G. They're both great.
Yeah, we like here. Disagreement is always good as long as it's respectful. You know.
Yeah, everybody's entitled to their own opinion.
Everybody's chill.
You know I mean, here Mike G thought, he thought Dylan had a better game. Mike and I thought Shador had a better game, but
and that's all good.
That's okay. You know what I mean? I think, and we like Shador. And here I don't mind Dylan. I think thought he went out and played well. I mean, I don't have anything against the kid. I mean, here it turns. I know the whole thing about was he taking a shot at Shador or anything. I don't know if he was taking a shot at Shador. I mean, it looked like it. I get it. But if you look at how the question was asked, I don't know. Do you think, Mike, he was taking a legit shot at Shador?
I would say this, but I think it was a dumb comment. I mean,
here's what I would say.
What I said her before. I think it was a dumb comment no matter what.
Yeah, here's what I would say. If you ask him, he probably would say no. But if you asked him what he's saying again, he probably would say no as well. So I think it was just a learning lesson for the young guy. Don't. I mean, even if you are calling out the media, you're not in a position to call out the media as a rookie.
You shouldn't call out the media as a rookie.
Right now, you're a third-round pick. Just go out there, do your job. Don't say anything. Don't give them anything. Just be yes, sir, no, sir, and just keep it simple. And just worry about your game and yourself and the team, what you got to do to help the team. That's it. So
exactly. But Joseph, you want to tell them why they have to like, subscribe, and share? Yeah, we'll see. Our Stacy, good to see, said, I like Dylan too. Leaders don't talk like that, period. I agree. No, I agree. I think it was a learning lesson for the guy. I think he's a young guy in the moment. I'm not sure how much he's spoken on. I don't know how many times these guys have done sideline interviews right after games, especially in college. The only time you ever do in college is at your spring game.
You don't do it during the season like that. So I think it was a learning lesson for him. Like I said, if you ask him, did you mean to say about Shador? He'd probably say no. But if you asked him would he say it again, he'd probably say no too. So
Right.
that is what it is. But I don't think Shador's even commented on it or said anything. So I don't. Yeah, if Shador ain't worried about it, then who gives a shit at the end of the day? Honestly, I mean, let's just move on to week 1.
Right.
But what's the sorry, it's not where you picked up, or excuse me, it's not where you picked. It's where what you do on the field. Look at Purdy, Brady, Warner. Absolutely, and that's why I said and that's right, Chantel. And then you thank you, Stacey. Here he's got it. They're going to both have their opportunity. I mean, I think from our observation, just because of what's being reported, this organization seems like they'll be looking to 2026. Whether people agree with that or not, that's what they're going to do from what it sounds. But these two guys have a great opportunity to go out there and prove them otherwise. And if they do, I think the organization wouldn't be upset about that. I don't think so, Mike, right? I mean,
No.
you find your guys, so then they can use those 2 picks somewhere else. You know what I mean? Then you can build around them. Because, I like the way this team's being rebuilt right now. Honestly, I think the trenches look good. That's where you start on both sides. You got the running game coming back. You got 2 tight ends again. I think Fannon's going to be great, like we all expect. And then you got Njoku. Yeah. The receiver room, you got some young, hungry guys that are starting to develop. That you got some more speed in there now, which you needed, I think. Now I can run a guy at a free safety and cover 2. I can run a guy on a 9 route. I can run him across the middle on some drag routes. Like I can do all different things we didn't have last year. You know what I mean? And so this team, and you got a linebacker now in case. We wish JOK. Imagine if JOK was out there with him. My gosh! But
oh my god,
good luck.
I hope he's healthy next year, man.
Yeah,
I wish.
But
man,
you hit on a pick there. You got a true middle linebacker that can really. He's already a green dot. That's how good this guy is as a rookie. So again, I think they got to get better in the secondary, and I think they'll have to address that in the draft. Probably get some more depth there. But again, they're looking pretty good, and we'll hopefully find a kicker.
Right.
Mike's going to lose his crap this year if he keeps watching Dustin Hopkins kick it out of the upright. But, so again, I think they're heading in the right direction. Much better place than they were last year. I think this year it's all about growth, evaluating, seeing what you have. If you win some games and get hot, that's great. But, I think they got a lot of good things going on right now with the team that I like. Mike Bloomgren looks like the guy I heard about when we hired him from some people I know him too. That I reached out to. They said Mike Bloomgren's a kick-ass coach, and he looks like a kick-ass coach. That offensive line looks really good right now. So I like what I'm saying. And I don't know if you notice, Mike, there's some new things they're doing too. Like you see that play with Luke Whippler when they ran the end around, where somebody on Twitter actually pointed this out too. Shout out to them, where Luke Whippler ran to the defensive end. Right, he pulled on the outside, stopped. And it was kind of like it was a disguise, like he was going to block the DN and then shot up the field and put a body on the DB. But it was an end around play. But it was just, you could see, I think Tommy Reese, you're starting to see some of that little new flavor they're putting in some of that offense as well. That I like. You saw an RPO with Dylan last week that you didn't see a lot of that in years past because they didn't really feel like they could execute it. You're seeing more of that now. They got more speed. Yeah. Like I think this offense, you're going to see some new flavor and some new versatility with it that we haven't seen.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think Stefanski is really building on his offense with the help of Tommy Reese and with Mike Bloomgren. And I think getting those 2 new, I want to say young coaches in the NFL. Tommy Reese is young, but 2 young
Tommy
coaches.
Reese, though, is a very good young
young
coach. I know people that know he's a dude in that industry. For sure. I think both quarterbacks have benefited from working from him. All 4, but especially the 2 young guys. Stefanski's full of shit. That's his problem.
He's the king of coach speak. He's never going to tell us nothing.
Yeah, they're like very remember Bill Belichick on the Cincinnati. They're not giving you the Browns. They don't give you nothing. They don't. What makes them think the 26 is the answer? Look what happened with first round pick and Johnny. No guarantee. Yeah, I mean. One thing I will say, though, Chantel, they're scouting these guys years in advance. Like, they already know who the guy is going to be in 28. Like, that's how far down the pipe they're scouting. So I think it's all projection. Yeah, it's all
projection. And
even the guys that – remember when Trevor Lawrence came out? Everybody said this guy's going to be the next,
Peyton Manning.
Peyton Manning. Like, he was supposed to be the slam dunk. And he was. I mean, I still like Trevor Lawrence. I think he can still turn it around. but his career so far hasn't been what the hype was. But again, and I think a lot of that's come down to fit and just Jags. How many head coaches he had now in 4 or 5 years? I think it's third. So
3.
yeah, it's not ideal. So, but again, it's all projection. It's all, but they see guys that, and he's here. You see the report with Haslam. It makes sense in a way because the relationship he has with the Manning family, Jimmy Sexton, the agent, they're all connected. So I get where that comes from. It's not. I don't think it's stupid to point it out there because if it's out there for a reason, I think it's coming from somewhere. And Jimmy Haslam's going to try to shoot it down and all that, but these owners get infatuated with certain guys too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If an owner gets infatuated with a guy, our owner was infatuated with Deshaun Watson so much, go trade for him, give up all that draft capital, pay him $230+ million, all guaranteed with all the allegations. So when an owner wants somebody, they're going to get them. You know what I mean? Anthony Richardson, bust.
It was a bust. It's a shame.
Wow.
But he should. They also failed him a little bit because he really was raw. He was a raw talent, and Anthony Richardson needed to be developed, and they just didn't do that with him. The Colts failed Anthony Richardson.
Anthony Richardson was projected a lot higher than where he should have went, in my opinion. Mike, we covered that draft. You remember I had him. I said to me, I'd have had him as a second round, kind of like a Jalen second, third, middle row kind of guy.
Yeah,
where he needs to go and sit and develop for about 2 years, and then we'll see where he's at. This poor guy, though, was thrown out to the wolves right away, and I hope he goes. If I'm Anthony Richardson, I'm getting the hell out of Indianapolis about fast as I can, and I'm gonna go somewhere, maybe like the Rams or somebody. I don't know who's an organization with a quarterback that's maybe got maybe I don't know 2-3 years left, or a good organization, right? And I'm just gonna go sit. And I'm just going to be developed again. I'm just going to restart my career, get healthy, and maybe I can develop and become something kind of like what Sam Darnold did. That's what I would do if I was him. I think a lot of it with him was he was so damn talented, but I think he was over-evaluated, and he got put in a bad situation. And am I surprised because of his play style? And I don't wish anybody get hurt ever, but am I surprised because of the position he plays and his style of play that he's gotten hurt like he has? No. It's what happens when you play that way at that position. You're going to get hurt. So if I were him, though, I'd try to get the hell out of there as fast as I can. Because a lot of quarterbacks, it's all about fit. What do they believe in you, and is it the right fit? Culture, all that stuff. This QB going to be a loser, losing organization can't develop quarterbacks. I mean, when it comes to not developing quarterbacks, I can't disagree with you there. So that's my one concern with the Browns, Mike. I hope they're not in a mindset of, you watch that new documentary they put out with the quarterback thing. It's like, well, let's just bring in a bunch of guys. Because remember they said, did you watch the thing they put out, the little quarterback documentary last week?
I have not yet. I haven't seen it yet.
So in the beginning of it, it's Andrew Siciliano does a great job narrating to put how the Browns needed a quarterback. Deshaun Watson went down. They needed a quarterback for the season. So they brought in all 4 guys. One is familiar face in Flacco and 3 new ones, and see which one's the guy. It's kind of how they painted it. And I'm thinking, I hope that's not the mentality of finding a quarterback, because at some point you as an organization have to identify a guy you believe in, but you have to help develop him and put structure around him. You can't just throw a guy out there and say, okay, go do something and save us. That's not going to work. That's fantasy land. That's not how, you know what I mean? That's not. Patrick Mahomes sat for a year in a good organization with Andy Reid, and look how it turned out.
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson went to a great organization, sat for a year, and look how it turned out. Josh Allen seemed to have a lot better stability and coaching around him, and he's seemed to pan out with that raw talent. So it goes both ways. I mean, like you can't just draft a guy, just say, okay, here you go, keys, it's all yours, and figure it out. Like, I hope that's not the mentality, which I don't think that coaching staff thinks like that, but I hope the front office doesn't. But you got to have good structure. Quarterback whisper my ass. This is a make or break year for Caleb Williams. I know Mike was a lot higher on Caleb than I was.
Caleb looks really good in training camp and preseason since he has a real coach. He's got a real coach now.
Well, he's actually being coached hard.
Yeah, he's actually being coached. Yeah, the last coach was just a coach in name. I don't know how that bro kept his job as long as he did.
Ben Johnson don't give a shit. I'll just tell you that right now. Or stuff, my bad. Ben Johnson don't care. Yeah. No, I like to be respectful of the audience. But no, my bad, my people. But no, I mean, he's got all the talent, but me personally, would I have taken him that high? No. for other reasons. I just don't think he's going to be a guy that's going to lead a franchise consistently for a long time. But that's just me. Could change. Got all the talent. Dude's super talented for sure. No doubt about it. Guys worked out. What was last year's class? Jaden Daniels, Drake May,
Daniels, Caleb,
J.J. McCarthy
May,
still to be
McCarthy, Nix.
That's a
Am I
pretty good
missing
class.
anybody? I'm
Yeah,
missing one guy, aren't I?
Caleb Williams.
I said Williams.
No,
I thought there were 6 quarterbacks taken.
Well, I think of the 5. It was Caleb, who still has to be proven. Jane Daniels, you know who he is. He was a stud, all-star. Drake May, I think, would be a hit. Bo Nix is a hit. And I think J.J. McCarthy would still be proven. He didn't play, so this is his year to be make or break. Was it Michael Penix?
Michael Penix.
Michael Penix, who shows flashes of being a hit. I think this is a year he have to build off of that. And I think if he goes through another good year, I think he could be up there with Bo Nix. He's got all the talent. I mean, he obviously got to stay healthy too. They need to keep him upright. But I think it's a make or break year for him. That's a pretty deep class, though. I mean, a lot of guys with upside for sure. A lot better than this year's class. No doubt about it, right, Mike?
Oh yeah.
Archie hasn't done anything yet. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. It starts 2 weeks in Columbus, so if he goes down and wins in Columbus, though, which I hope he doesn't, but if he does, it's going to start. The fiasco's going to.
I don't even have Arch in my next year's quarterback class. To be fair, but next year's class is really deep. Even you take Arch Manning out of it.
Garrett Nussmeier, Archie, if technically Archie could. Garrett Nussmeier, Jake
Drew
Klubnik,
Lenore Sellers,
Drew
DJ
Aller,
Lagway.
Drew Aller. I mean, how does he come back from year? I know I've actually met a kid this weekend who trains with his quarterback coach. And so, yeah, it's kind of like small, but he's been working out really hard this offseason. So I can't see how he looks now in this year. I guarantee Arch won't let come to Cleveland. I'm from New Orleans. And I mean, I get that, Chantel, but
Jimmy Haslam is very, very close
they're very
with the Manning
close
family.
I don't think people realize how close they are with the Mannings. Like that Colin Cowherd report was 95% accurate.
Yeah, Arch Manning calls Jimmy Uncle Jimmy.
Jimmy Haslam part, the relationship part of that report from Colin Cowherd's accurate. Now that Nick Saban stuff, I don't buy that, but I don't think Nick Saban's going to be a coach in the NFL.
No.
But I think that the thirst, probably is real because of the relationship. Their relationship with the family is very close. Yes, they failed him. He needs to be developed. Same with Shador. He needs to be developed, but I think the Browns need to throw him to the wolves. Sink. You mean like
sink or swim? He wrote.
Oh, sink or swim. Don't drag this out. Oh, okay. I see you now. I got you. I agree with you, Mike G. In terms of I would play him. I want to see what he's got. I don't want to let this drag out because when Dylan gets out there, if he goes out there and plays an average game, it's still gonna. What are you gonna hear? You're gonna hear the fans. You're gonna have people in the stands probably shouting "Shador, we want Shador." It's gonna be this whole thing. It's not ideal the situation. Again, I don't want 2 young guys out there competing against each other all year long. I don't mind it in camp, but I mean, at some point, guys want to feel comfortable and feel like they're wanted there. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I mean, I get it, but I mean, I don't think ownership minds if he sticks around to the end of the year either. Because let's say they get to, mid-November and they're already out of playoff contention, and maybe Dylan has been okay, but not great. Then now that's time to put in Shador because what's going to happen, Mike? You're going to get a TV game flexed, probably that Titans game, right? More revenue, more interest. People just won't tune out of the season like they did last year where it was abysmal in December. Remember we had to cover that last year, December, how abysmal that was?
Oh, yeah.
When you're already out of the playoffs, there's no like young quarterback out there. There's nothing. I mean, it was terrible. And nobody was interested. You know what I mean? Thank gosh we had Ohio State because other than that, I've been depression. So, but I think that's why he's going to drag it out because ultimately it keeps interest all year long.
Right.
Well, Archie said that, but Arch came out yesterday and said that he don't know where all that stuff's coming from. That it ain't true. I don't buy that personally that he wouldn't come here because at the end of the day, guys are going to go where they had the most pull in the organization. I think that's what it would be. More leverage in the organization. And Jimmy doesn't have a problem giving that to somebody if he likes them. I think no, I agree with you, Steve. I've seen him handle in college. I think the kid handles this. I don't think the spotlight phases him or anything phases him. He grew up in the spotlight, so that doesn't phase him. I think with him, it's just going to come down to opportunity and just development. And how does he, and once he gets his opportunity, we'll see what he does. Nick's Daniels, Penix, Taylor's, Aller, maybe. Drew Aller's interesting. I know Drew wants to come here. Drew's from Medina. I watched Drew when he was at Medina. He was, I think, 2 years older than me.
I'm a big Cade Klubnik supporter.
I like Cade Klubnik a lot. He looks really good. Cade Klubnik seems to fit kind of how they evaluate, in my opinion. He was very ahead in a lot of the advanced metrics last year, but he's also the eye test too. He looks phenomenal. I mean, I think another great year from him. I think. Yeah, Drew Aller's interesting though. I think Drew's got to be a little better in some areas. Laura Seller's a great athlete. I want to see how he looks as how does his game translate the NFL pocket guy. I think this would be a big year from him, which again, he's got all the talent in the world. Garrett Nussmeier, he's pretty interesting as well. I mean, obviously he's coached by everybody knows legendary coach Nuss. I think he's down in I believe with the Saints, when I'm mistaken. See, at the Saints, his dad, if I'm not mistaken. So he's a kid who he coaches son. I think very smart, high IQ guy. But I think just got to have a big year this year. They're going to let Arch come. I wouldn't be surprised. Again, at the end of the day, it's going to come down to the relationship with the Haslams and them. I don't think they really care. I think they want to go to an organization where they got the most power. Honestly, they're too big of a name. I mean, here, I'll put this to you. And I wouldn't be, and who knows? This is just me looking down. I could, they want to sit up here and talk about he'll go the thirst for Arch Manning and all this. I would say this. Jimmy Haslam tried hiring Peyton Manning as his president of, we'll wrap it up here in a second. He hired Peyton Manning as the president of football, or tried hiring, hold on, I'm reading the text. Okay, got to throw off for a second. He tried hiring Peyton Manning as the president of football operations back in 2017. Peyton at the time wasn't interested in doing it because he just didn't want to do anything yet out of football. He just got out, just retired. He wanted time with his family. Then eventually went to the ESPN gig, right? I think that was already promised before you got done. So, but could that come back around? Could they try to use that? I don't know. I mean, does Peyton want to sit there and call Monday Night Football games forever? To me, he's too smart of a guy. I think he would be a great executive, just his personality and just how smart he is.
I'm surprised he didn't really jump into it right away.
I mean, is he trying to wait for the right opportunity? I don't know. I mean, Jimmy tried, and also Jimmy said at that time, I had the quote, I put it on my show, where Jimmy said that that door wasn't closed, that they would always leave the door open, basically. So could this be the time to use that card? I mean, I don't know. I mean, but again, they're very close. They're very close. So we'll wrap it up with these three here. But you could be right, Chantel. I don't know. I mean, I don't think the Browns are that appealing right now, the quarterbacks, based off their history. But I think there is somebody that's going to want to come in here. Because, man, you're the guy that comes in here and turns it around. How legendary would you be?
Right.
I mean, that's impressive. So I heard that they had an offer for Sanders, and Angel Berry turned it down. It's on the podcast. Locked our Rams.
More than likely. I didn't hear any reports of that, but
I didn't hear that. But I'm not. I know you brought that up, Chantel. I gotta go. I'm gonna go look at that, Chantel. Thanks for reminding me of that. Maybe. I mean, I could totally see Sean McVay in LA being interested in the Shador stuff. He would fit in well out there. Tennessee quarterback. What's his name?
Cam Ward.
Yeah. Yes, Doug Nussmeier. Dad
he worked for the Aints, not the Saints.
Yeah, Doug. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, Coach Nuss. Or no, it's Coach Nuss. Yeah. Everybody knows Coach Nuss in that industry, quarterback realm especially. But Tennessee's quarterback name in college.
Nico.
Nico left.
Oh,
they had the whole NIL dispute. Remember?
That's right.
Nico Lamalave, whatever his name was. But
I think that's who she's referring to, though.
Yeah. He's not there anymore. I don't know where he went, but actually, you wrap it up, Mike, real quick, and I'll try to find it before we get out of here.
Folks, thank you so much for joining us on another edition of The Professional Fan. I have been The Professional Fan, Mike Antonis, and with the main man, host of The Real, Joseph Latman.
UCLA. You want the UCLA?
UCLA. Oh, he'll work there. But yeah, guys, thank you so much. Oh, Cade Klubnik. He's not Tennessee. He's Clemson.
Clemson. Same colors though.
Same colors, yeah.
Orange. But shout out to Stacy. Shout out to Chantel. Shout out to Mike G. Thanks for tuning in today. We hope to see you back, brother. Shout out. Who else do we have in here tonight?
Shout out to everybody. Everybody in chat.
Humble with the super chat. Shout out to Humble.
Yeah, absolutely.
Shout out to Derica Smith. Make sure I got everybody. Yeah, shout out to all you guys. Shout out to Selmo. Yeah, and shout out to all the new subscribers.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for watching. If you're new here, please like, subscribe, and share. It helps the show a lot. We're on our way to 1,000. At 1,000, I am getting a tattoo and live streaming it. It's going to be a Browns/Colorado themed tattoo. So stay tuned if you want to see me do that. And as always, I love you all very much. You want to say it, Joseph? You want to say it this time? I don't think you've said it yet.
As always, be classy, be a gentleman or a lady, but most importantly, stay professional.